But the way that I began my career is becoming an expert at my first major investment decision. About 6 years into my career, I took all the money that I'd made in the first 6 years of my career and I put it into a medical devices business. And over the course of 3.5 years, I became an expert in dysfunctional uterine bleeding. Now, for the squirmish men amongst us, this is a problem that affects 20% of all women between the ages of 39 and 54, and it's a significant impact on a woman's quality of life. Anyway, I invested into a business that never made me any money. In fact, I lost all my money, but I became an expert in alternatives to hysterectomy for women who are suffering from that very medical condition. So that was my first area of expertise, and at one point I found myself in India lecturing before 250 gynecologists on this particular subject matter, and without exception every single one of them afterwards assumed that I was a doctor. But there you go, all I ever knew was that particular expert niche. And it's quite interesting now because most of my female colleagues are very happy to talk to me about their period problems because I've read all the literature on it and I know exactly what it's about. So that was my first expertise, you could say. My second expertise grew out of my last immigration business, where I became very frustrated at the increasing use of email in the modern workplace and how I'd been able to use systems with my immigration consultant colleagues to streamline the way that they operate. And then this thing called email appeared on the scene towards the end of the 1990s that was just this disruptive medium that was, yes, providing efficiencies of communications, but more importantly, people couldn't be organised. They couldn't organise their work because of the way that email is and hasn't changed even now. So because of an immigration project that I had to embark on through my time in Australia, I decided that I was going to solve the problem of email in the modern workplace. And $1.5 million Australian dollars, and 7 years later we never made any money out of it, but we did become experts at understanding workflow and the challenges that people have in the modern workplace. So I have been an expert on email management and workflow management in the modern workplace now for about 10 years, I'd say, and I think I've read, in fact I wrote a white paper on this with 100 footnotes, and I read every single piece of academic literature that had ever been promulgated or published anywhere on the problem of email management. So I became a complete expert in that over the course of a few years. So that was my second realm of expertise. My third realm of expertise is my enduring expertise, because I've been involved in immigration, in Hong Kong immigration since 1993. So after 21 years and having written a book and published on it consistently for many years now, it's fair to say that that expertise is with me and continues to consolidate and grow over time. So that's my third area of expertise in the last 20 years. And my fourth area, I suppose you could say, I'm starting to get a little bit of inside know-how in terms of how the modern internet works. So one might conclude that perhaps in a very modest way I'm developing a little bit of expertise in this space that will only grow in time, I'm sure. So there you have an example of me, a mere mortal, having acquired 4 levels of expertise in my career. So it's completely within everybody in this room to look at what is of real interest to you, or what dynamics are at play in your life that are compelling you to become particularly good at one area of life, if you will, and then see if you can make a business out of it. And if you follow the essential precepts of the talks that I'm giving here, I do believe you will be able to make a living out of it. So yes, those are my areas of expertise.